A massacre on the Las Vegas Strip. People forced to run for their lives through a crowd of thousands, climbing walls, climbing fences, and at times past the dead.
No matter what place you went for cover, there was 2 to 3 bodies to accompany that.
This is all other people's blood. This is all blood splatter from people being dead and us having to be on top of them basically to get out.
Unbelievable images. Nearly 60 dead and more than 500 people injured in this when that shooter fired from the hotel room toward the crowd of thousands below. Those shots were fired from the 32nd floor Mandalay Bay Hotel at 10:08 Sunday. And you can see the windows. We may have already shown that there. But you can actually see the windows that are out from the hotel where those shots were fired from. And you saw the shot of the suspect there as well. The description of the scene, though, being used over and over again is a war zone. This mass shooting unfolding last night at a country music festival in one of the nation's top tourist destinations.
So new information is coming in every second, it seems. The 64-year-old man who police say killed 58 people had been at the Mandalay Bay Hotel since Thursday. There are no confirmed ties to terrorism. SWAT officers used explosives to get into his hotel where they found that he had killed himself. The president, first lady, and vice president led a moment of silence this afternoon.
On Your Side has a team dedicated to our coverage of the massacre on the Vegas Strip.
We will have the challenges monitoring security at hotels all over the country, how local first responders are feeling after watching video from the scene in Las Vegas, and 9 on Your Side connects with tri-state residents who happened to be in Las Vegas at the time. We will have those perspectives in just a moment. First, though, President Donald Trump calls the shooting pure evil. In a statement today from the White House, he said our unity cannot be shattered by evil.
Though we feel such great anger at the senseless murder of our fellow citizens, it is our love that defines us today.
The flag was lowered to half staff at the White House. The president had been scheduled to visit Puerto Rico tomorrow in the wake of Hurricane Maria. He announced he will follow that trip with a visit to Las Vegas on Wednesday.
Now, if you happen to be unfamiliar with the Vegas Strip, here's a look at where all of this happened. The shots again fired from the Mandalay Bay Hotel just across the Las Vegas Boulevard. Now, the music festival was actually across from the Luxor Hotel. And here's a closer view. 22,000 people were in the line of fire during that concert. The suspect, 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, was a retiree. You see a picture of him here. He had no criminal history in the Nevada county where he lived. He previously lived in Dallas from 2009 to 2012. Paddock lived with a 62-year-old woman named Mary Lou Danley in Mesquite, Nevada. Now, at this point, police do not believe she was involved in this attack at all. She is out of the country, according to the sheriff. Paddock's younger brother says he's completely dumbfounded by the shooting.
He was my brother. Yeah. It's like an asteroid fell out of the sky. Well, he had a couple of handguns, I think. You know, he had a safe with a couple of handguns. He might have had one long rifle, but he didn't have any. I mean, he had no automatic weapons that I knew of at any time.
The suspect's brother, Eric, there was seen by our Scripps reporters in Florida getting into a car with 2 FBI agents just outside his home. He said the FBI was also planning to speak with their 90-year-old mother. She's believed to be the last family member to speak with Paddock about 2 weeks ago.
The exact type of weapons used in this attack has not yet been released. We know that police found 10 rifles in the hotel room where Paddock was staying. Investigators determined Paddock brought those rifles in the hotel himself after searching through hours of video. They also believe he used a hammer-like device to smash the window of that hotel room. A Cincinnati man says he had just left the Las Vegas Strip and was on a plane when the shooting began. 9 on Your Side's Evan Millward talked with him about the chaos that unfolded all around him. Evan?
Yeah, Tanya, he describes sheer chaos and confusion, rumors, misinformation all throughout McCarran Airport. That is actually where Allegiant is based in here at CVG. The later Allegiant flight this evening has been delayed by nearly an hour. We are waiting on those folks who have been trying all day for some time to get back. take a look at this, and you may not realize this. McCarran is actually across the street from Mandalay Bay. You can see in the map there where this took place. There were reports that people were running to get away from this scene onto McCarran property. That is something Josh Langdon told me just about an hour ago, shortly after he got back. He got settled, took a nap after that red eye that he was on, finally took off after about 3 hours. He was there for his bachelor party. He says they were on the tarmac, had to turn around, go back to the gate, and once they got inside, no one knew what was going on other than there were reports of shootings. There was misinformation being spread about multiple shooters, and he was texting with his brothers who were on their way to the airport, were passing the ambulances as they were going, and trucks with people in the back just getting those victims to the hospital. His parents were at the Bellagio Hotel on a corner room. They could see the scene. Everything was going on. They were communicating by text message, but no one in the moment knew what was happening.
What we were all talking about was that could have been any of us, because they were shooting from a high-rise building into the public. And people in Vegas are always crammed like sardines everywhere you go. So it makes you really think about your safety.
So Josh's parents are actually on their way back there in transit, back to Cincinnati now. Finally, after being locked down in the Bellagio. I've been texting with a bunch of other people from our area. Most of them in transit, should be arriving here at CVG here in the next hour. I'm sure we will have some stories for you out of that. Some of these folks were in Mandalay Bay when this all went down. Guys, back to you.